Welcome to Gotham Sound TV. I am very excited to be talking to Pierre Michoud. Michaud?
Sure.
Did I get it right?
That's
Okay,
it.
good.
No, you did it right.
All right, good.
Yeah.
From Aaton, and he is here to show us the Cantar Mini, which we are very excited to see in the flesh. Lots of questions, but let me let you start, Pierre. Tell us about the Cantar Mini, please. And hello and welcome.
So I hope I'll be able to do some kind of demo because I have to, move the mini around. I can't move the camera, so hopefully everything will be kind of in focus and you'll be able to see every side of the recorder. So the Cantar Mini is the Cantar Mini. So that's why I took an X3 with me, and you can see both machines next to each other. I don't know if you can see the size, but definitely maybe I should do something like this. And so let's see. Yeah, that's a mini. So it is indeed a mini recorder in terms of size and weight.
Uh-huh.
But it does, I mean, what we did in order to make it lightweight is to take some of the component of the X3 and to keep some of them. What we kept is the screen, for example. We kept the fader mixer panel that you can see here. We kept one of the rotary knob, but we did not keep the left one. And we kept the preamp board.
Uh-huh. So somebody coming to the Cantar Mini with no experience of the Cantar,
I understand that, yes.
what
So,
what does it offer?
so it, if we talk in terms of inputs, it offers a total of 6 analog inputs. You have a 4 mic input and 2 line level input. The mic input can be switched to line level as well. That's for the analog input.
So 4 line level, and then
Two
six other.
two line and 4 mics.
Uh-huh.
A total of 6 analog inputs.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And those are located here, all of them here on TA3. Again, the idea was to reduce the size. That's why we're not using standard XLR3, but TA3, and then you will have to use an adapter. Or we'll offer cables, actually. We'll sell cables with the Mini.
Uh-huh. So can you go through each one of those inputs? Like which are the mic and which are the line inputs?
So those are the mics,
Uh-huh.
all 4, and those are the lines.
Got it. Okay.
And again, the mic can be switched to line level.
Got it. Got it.
Through a specific menu. So if I'm looking at the rear of the Cantar right here, the Cantar Mini, should I say? It's a bit difficult because some people say the Mini, the Cantar Mini, the Mini X3, so it's the Cantar Mini. So if we look at the back, we see the power. We see both batteries. Basically, we use this type of batteries.
Uh-huh. So compatible with Inspired Energy batteries.
Correct. I mean, they're made by Inspired Energy,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
so compatible with audio route as well. But basically, you could take an Inspired Energy battery and put it in.
Great.
If you buy from us, we would prefer that, but no problem. There's no lock. I mean, you can use any of those manufacturers.
Sure. And
So 2 of them.
it comes with two batteries?
No, when you purchase, unlike the X3, when you purchase the Mini, it is sold not as a pack, but it comes with a power supply
Uh-huh.
and some kind of protective pouch.
Got
But
it.
then you would have to purchase batteries, extra batteries.
Got it.
I
Okay.
would say, I don't know, it depends of how long is your day, but I would say something like 4 to 6 batteries, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you, in the center here, I don't know if you can see it, there's an XLR4.
Got it.
So you can put a DC power input, works on 12 to 17 volts. So we supply a power supply of 15 volt power supply.
Perfect.
And if you connect a power supply like the X3, but let's forget about the X3, the power supply takes over the battery.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the back. And then talking about power, we have a small Hiroshi connector here for power output.
Great.
And power a receiver, and it output the battery voltage with a limitation of 500 milliamps.
And I see a DB25 right next to it.
That's a DB25. That's your analog output. You have 8 line level output, and you can send pretty much everything you want on those outputs, from send your inputs, your tracks, talkback, slate mic, whatever. So that's pretty much what you can see from the back. Let me put it backward. Then if we look at the side of the machine here, we have obviously the main selector. If briefly to explain the main selector, it's a quick access to different pages, menu page. You can go into record by rotating the selector this way. Then you have pre-rec, you have test, you are in stop. Here, I don't know, you would access your routing menu and all that. We'll briefly see that, when I'll power up the Cantar. See, the screen is moving.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the screen a bit later.
Yeah.
And then on this side, I'm going to stand up. So you have 2 SD card slot.
Great.
You have an Ethernet connector. That would be to access your internal drive or to connect a laptop for metadata editing through a web app. But basically, that's a way to access the motherboard of the Cantar with hardwire. Even though we have a Wi-Fi here, I have an antenna, so we can access to the hard drives and to the metadata through the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth through this. And then here you have 2 USB connectors. Sorry, and that's for again connecting an external drive for backup or mirror recording. That's, for example, to connect one of those small keyboards.
Got it.
Here I have a small keyboard with Bluetooth. So this is where I would connect the keyboard right here.
Perfect.
I could connect a Cantar M as well, because as you might know, the Cantar M is a linear actuator control surface where you have 12 faders that could control your input, your tracks, whatever. So then you could connect the Cantar M through this USB port as well. That's pretty much what you have here on this side.
Yeah.
If I switch the Cantar and show you the front, not much on the front. Some strange post here, but basically here you have 2 headphone output. One is a 3.5 millimeter out jack. The other one 6 millimeter 3.5. And on this one, it's a 4-point jack, which means that you can have an electret microphone as well.
So anything that might work with an iPhone or an Android phone could work in that?
Yes. And here, those 2 posts here, those are 2 threaded insert, and here I have a cover that I can remove. And within that hole, you have a small USB mini connector. And this is where you would put this small what we call the A box, which is pretty much like a Cantar, but basically it's a 8 rotary faders that you can use to control whatever your input trim, because the idea was because of we've decided to make the Mini as little as possible. We how can I explain? So basically, you have here. We could call it a mixer plate, but it's actually not a mixer plate. It's a series of linear actuators that you can set up to control whatever you want. It could be your mic input, it could be your track. So I can say, okay, the first 4 or 5 will be my input, and then I have a number of track that I can control. If I'm in a very not too many tracks situation, let's say. Otherwise, I could put a Cantar M and extend it. So here we have a 16 track. I could very well use that box to control all of my inputs, and then use this plate only for the track and the mix down. Make sense? Yeah, I mean.
Very flexible, and it's completely user defined. Is that right?
Correct. Yes, you can set whatever knobs to whatever. It's connected through USB from here to here with a small cable. So you could even think about extending and putting the control on your boom if you want.
Wow. That's great. That's got all kinds of possibilities.
Exactly. So that's the front. And if I look on this side now, and I think we did a 360. I have time code input, Limo 5, pretty standard. I have an option port. This is option can be used to, you have different type of signal. You could remote the Cantar. You could, we have word clock on that. It's an accessory port where you have access to different. I don't know the exact pinout of this connector.
But for future expansion possibilities, it sounds like there's all kinds of possibilities on that connector.
For example, on the X3, the same connector can be used to connect older, like the old Cantar M. I mean, there's a different possibility to.
Okay.
But again, I don't have the pinout.
Yeah.
And here we spoke about the analog input, but we did not talk about digital. So the Cantar Mini has pairs of digital in and 2 pairs of digital out, or let's say, yes. So what that means is that you could put 2 AES42 input or 4 AES3 mono channel, or a mix of both, meaning you could put 1 AES42 input and 2 AES3 input.
So how many tracks does it record altogether?
You can go up to 16.
16, and how many simultaneous inputs?
Good question. Up to I guess 10.
10, okay.
The maximum, yes, which would be 4 mics, 2 lines, and 4 AES3, for example. That's a maximum of 10.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. There's one thing, if you flip it around, and can we look at the top? Because there was something above the faders. Are those buttons above the faders?
Correct, yes. All of those buttons are what we call solo buttons. It gives you access to whatever has been set on the fader. Meaning, if this is your mic input gain control, then pressing this button will open the mic menu, setting phantom, limiter, EQs, and all that. If you've set up one of these to be your track, then it will control your mix down.
Right.
Then on the track, you could change, for example, mix pan and all that. It does give you access to whatever has been set for these faders. But maybe it's time just to power up the Cantar. I mean to. Oh,
Yeah, let's do it.
yeah. Okay. The on button is right here. So it's actually powering.
Uh-huh.
Says mini, handwritten.
Very cute.
Yeah. I did actually lower the screen brightness for the camera. So
Okay.
I don't know if you feel it's too dark, I can modify that. And
So far it looks great.
okay.
That is a little too, no, there we go.
Hold on. Yeah. Here I'm in the stop position.
All right, it's a little washed out. If there's a way to lower it a little more, that would be great.
Okay. So let me get up and access the technical. So as you can see, rotating the wheel allows me, but maybe you don't see because it's washed out. So
Yeah, no, we see just enough.
we turn it towards me and
It really is amazing. It seems like not so much Cantar Mini as it is Cantar condensed. It's very dense.
it's very dense, yes. But actually, it's we've had it on a job with one French sound mixer who owns the X3.
Uh-huh.
And who did use it as a portable recorder. I mean, he led the X3 on his cart, and then he used this one over the shoulder, and he really loved it. I mean, because he felt totally comfortable with the menus, because it is the same than his bigger recorder.
Yeah.
So it was not different. All of the technical time code audio menu was the same, is the same, and he loved the weight. He kept it all day, you know, and so let me modify the brightness.
Uh-huh.
How is it now?
No, I think that's going to be great. Yeah, I think that's good. That's good.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting because I think with that USB, that micro USB accessory, that really opens up possibilities for it to be used over the shoulder.
Correct.
You know,
Yeah.
makes it very practical for over the shoulder.
It make it more simple to operate. I believe so. I mean, you can operate it without this because, again, if you set that to be your mic input control, then no problem. I don't know if it's been set that way, but for example, if I go in one of these menus, I press OK, and then I have my solo mic one. I maybe try to get closer. You see, yeah?
Yeah, that's
All
good.
right. Yeah, that's good. So that's by pressing this, I set up my solo, and you can see I have like phantom, limiters, phase. I have the level that actually is changing. I have nothing attached to it. Mic level, this is where I would set my input to be at line level. I have high pass filters and EQs.
Great.
So by pressing OK, then I would open my EQ setup, 3-band EQ.
Okay, that's great. And can you, for example, change some of those faders to control 3-band EQ, like to be able to have low, mid, and high control?
No. I mean, no. It's on the input.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the EQs are definitely on the input, so which means it's like destructive. I mean, if you set up your input with EQs, that's what's going to be recorded on the track, and there's no way back.
Got it. Okay, fair enough.
And then because,
Yeah.
yeah,
I was going to ask if there's a way to EQ a mix track so that you're doing it only to the mix.
we've had requests for that, so I don't want to speak for
Okay.
Pascal or for the development team, but we've had requests for that.
Fair enough.
I don't know if that's going to happen at some point because definitely people have been interested, or at least to have them post fader and
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, and I mean, and the fact that we have 16 tracks to play with, already you can record your track pre-fade. You can record obviously the track pre-fade,
Mm-hmm.
the mix, and then you can record also the track post-fade. So you can have two yeah. So there's plenty of possibilities with many tracks like this. People that have been asking me, why are you building a 16 tracks with so many inputs, let's say?
Mm-hmm.
And but the fact is that because we've had requests of recording tracks pre and post fade, so that that's why we have this number of tracks
Got it. Got it.
here.
Hi. So and the screen looks to be the same size as the regular Cantar. Is
It
that
is
true?
the exact same screen actually.
Yeah. So it's it's really interesting that it's much more compact, but it still has incredible visibility and ergonomics because of the screen.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it is the same screen. It is the same preamp board. So you have the same sound quality. It's the same architecture as far as file are concerned.
Mm-hmm.
So you could take one of the file recording on the Mini, put it on an X3 or on another Mini, and create your sound report from that. So everything is compatible. What we're trying to do is really to build up a Aaton ecosystem, with different accessories
Yes.
and other things will come up to really offer everybody the state of the art, you know.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's in development.
Yeah, for us too, it's very exciting because, like in the past, I would say we had so many uh, product, and I don't like the word product because for me, a Cantar is really, I don't know, there's an attachment to it. So the word product is, but let's say we had many products from post-production tools to cameras and to sound recorder. So I believe we never really extended the range of tools. We had the Cantar X1, and
Mm-hmm.
that was pretty it. I mean, there were the Cantar M, but and then we had the cameras, but we never designed matte boxes, follow focuses for the camera because we were focusing on one thing.
Right.
Now that we are totally devoted to sound, then for us, we definitely are into expanding our range of product. And that's only the beginning.
That's exciting. Anything that you can share with us that we might see at NAB? Surprises?
At NAB, no, there will be the Mini. I hopefully there will be some firmware, new firmware for the X3. But if you are thinking about the Cantar S, maybe it will not be at NAB.
All right, fair enough.
Not that I know. I mean, there's another month to go before NAB, so what do I know? Maybe there will be something.
All
So
right.
don't take my word on that. But no, they will come with those two guys, I mean, or two girls. I don't know, the Cantar and the Cantar Mini. Yeah.
Excellent. All right, so I think we should probably wrap it up within the next few minutes, but I want to give people a sense of the Cantar Mini, particularly people that might be approaching this as their first Aaton recorder. So do you mind going through some of the menu settings, like how do you set time code, how do you enter scene and take, that kind of thing?
Okay, yes. I hope we'll be able to see it on the screen. I'm going to stand up um, and maybe, yeah, come here. All right. So as you could see here, I have, let me escape that menu. All right, we have different screen where we can access different setup. So
And
if I
I
go,
just want to jump in there and say, I know it looks like a lot, but because the screen is so big in real life, you really get used to what each of those positions are very quickly, and you can quickly memorize where things are.
yes. So you want me to go through pretty much all of the screen or
No,
briefly?
I
No,
think just
no,
because
we'll, yeah,
it's too small, but
okay.
like just basic like enter
I
time
think
code and routing and maybe that's it.
exactly. I think one important screen is routing, so you can see all of your 16 tracks here. And then with a cron, you can access all of your tracks. So what we can see here, for example, on track 1, I have mic 1 that has been set up to be on track 1. On track 2, I have mic 2. If I want to put, to change that briefly here, I'm opening the opening here. I have the list of inputs. Um, I'll do mic 1, press OK. Then mic 1 is on track 4. So I lay out all of my inputs on the different tracks.
And total flexibility, you can put the mix track on track 1 and bump everything down accordingly as you like.
Wherever, yeah, here the mix tracks are on track 9 and 10, but I can put them wherever I want. And what you see at the bottom is actually your pan for the mix. So on track 1, I'm going to left. On track 2, I'm going to the right. On track 3, if I go to track 3, I'll go this way. And by pressing this button, I select by the F4, I select where my track 3 is going. Right,
Got it.
left, centered, and right. And I can pan also 70% on the left, 30% on the right.
Pierre, that's beautiful. I'm going to see if there's any questions from our audience.
We have one question about availability.
Yeah, we should talk about
That's a
price
good
availability.
question.
Yeah.
We haven't started delivery yet, so I hope to be able to start shipping the first units within 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
We have quite a number of orders right now, so we take them. There's actually the way we do it. If you want to be on the list, then we'll ask you for a deposit, but you, I guess, know that, and then we get the ball rolling and we put you on the list, and it's like first order, first safe serve basis. But we have quite a few orders right now. So for an order that's placed right now, I guess there's something like say 8 weeks waiting time. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, maybe more.
All right. You guys, the Aaton elves will make them as fast as they can, I guess.
Yes, but still, we take the time to make them as beautiful as possible. So I mean, rushing is not. I mean, it's not always a good idea. So, but I would say, very often when a new product come out, people are afraid because that's a new product. There might be bugs or, it's firmware problem or hardware issue. And but that's not the case with this machine because we were not maybe live when we spoke about it, but the software on the Cantar Mini is the exact same one than the Cantar X3. There's some options that are not available on the MIDI, like for example the Dante. Dante is on the X3, it is not on the Mini. But the fact is that because it is the same software firmware, it means that it's let's say bug free. The X3 has been released like 2 years ago, something like this, and it's very stable. We haven't had any problem. I'm not saying that the first 6 months we haven't had any all issues that we fixed as quickly as possible, but for the last year or so, it's been very stable.
Yes, yes.
And so the Mini is stable from the start.
So somebody buying a Mini now, even though it's first shipment, it's a proven architecture, it's a proven software.
Definitely, yes.
Good.
So yeah.
I'm excited to see them in the world, and I'm excited to see how people use them. I really think there's lots of
I
different
think there's
ways.
yes, we are in the process of designing a bag for it.
Good.
So there's a lot of things going on, and yeah, me too. I mean, I think it's exciting.
Yeah. Anything that you would like to add that we haven't covered before we close?
No, I mean, I'd say it's quite impossible to go through the whole machine, and through Skype. So I hope you're gonna get your machine very soon. That
can
people
see it.
will come.
Yeah, they can see it. You're on your way to. Did I hear Frankfurt? Is that right? Where are you? You're at a trade show.
Yes, I'm in Frankfurt at Polish and Sound. That's all of next week.
And then NAB
and
in April.
then after that NAB.
And then the Gotham Sound Expo May. When is it? It's May 13th.
All right. Yeah, Paul. I'm not going to be there, but Paul Tillua, one of our engineer design and software designer, we will be there. So we will be able to answer very deep technical question if you have any.
I'm excited. This is great.
By the way, I'm just showing that because I'm sure a lot of people have been kind of waiting for it. That's the protection. So we have a protection available for the screen for both the X3 and the Mini.
Excellent. Good. This is good. Excellent. That's wonderful. It's been great talking to you, Pierre. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
It's late for you, right? You're on your way home, I would imagine.
Yeah, but we've changed time like last Sunday, so it's how do you say? It's not dark. I mean, the daylight stays a bit longer, so I still will enjoy my garden tonight.
That's fantastic.
So it's no problem.
All right, let me keep you away from your garden for 10 seconds while I just say goodbye to everybody. So next week, we're going to feature the RF landscape with Kevin Parrish, and which I'm excited for. That's pending availability. He's a busy guy. Gotham Sound Expo Saturday, May 13th, and you can see archives at gothamsound.tv. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And please send ideas. We really do turn them into shows to info@gothamsound.com. Pierre, thank you so much.
Merci.
And
merci à toi. Thank you very much.
We will see you in April.
Yes.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Merci.